Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Something just crossed my mind and I was like, I think I'm gonna make a video on this. You know, a lot of times people say that it's cheaper to keep her, or whoever you're married to, whoever you're with, whatever type of relationship that you're in. But the famous saying is it's cheaper to keep her. Well, I don't think that's true at all. I think that is one of those old-fashioned, old way of thinking type of concepts where I personally don't think it's cheaper to keep anybody, regardless of who you love or who you marry or whatever the case is. I think it's actually cheaper to let that person go their way, to let that person get out of your life so that you can live your life, right? Because if you think about it, if you're unhappy in a relationship, if you are miserable, regardless of how much financial comfort you get from it, you can't really enjoy the money. Because a lot of times, and I've made another video or two somewhat similar to the money aspect, not to what I'm talking about in this video. But if you are unhappy in a relationship, and the only reason why you're staying in that relationship is because it provides you with some sort of financial, some sort of financial comfort, or whatever the case is, a sense of financial security, right? And if all of your life's joy, if all of your life's joy is based on money and the comforts that you receive because of money, then I would say, hey, you know what? Go ahead and stay in your relationship, because it's all about money for you, and you don't care about anything else. You don't care about true happiness, which I describe true happiness as joy, and joy is something you always have, whereas happiness is something that could be temporary, right? So if you're all in it just for the money, then you might as well, then yeah, I guess you could stay in the relationship. But I don't think that's the case for a lot of people, many people, perhaps even most people, that they're not just staying in a relationship simply because of the finances, right? And so if you think about it this way, the whole concept of, well, it's cheaper to keep her. So my thing is, let's look at the other aspect of it, which is your peace of mind. Your peace of mind. How much money are you willing to keep? How much money are you willing to keep, to put up with, to deal with someone who makes you absolutely miserable? But if you leave them, if you divorce them, if you separate from them, then the only thing that you would be, you're still able to hold on to is money. It's all about money, right? So you're saying, I don't know how much you have. If the person leave, I'm only gonna have $500,000, and no house, or whatever the case is. I'm gonna have to start over. If the person leave, then I'm only gonna have, whatever it is, right? And you're gonna have to, quote unquote, start over. And I know some people might realistically, they might be looking at it from the aspect of, so at the point I am in my life, maybe it's just so and so, but are you willing to stop living? Right? That's the thing for me. Are you willing to stop living your life? Are you willing to give up on joy in your life? Are you willing to give up on having a peace of mind in your life? Right? If you're willing to do all of that stuff, give up your peace of mind, give up your joy, give up your long-lasting happiness because you want to be able to hold on to some more cash, then that's fine. But if you are more concerned about your mental health than you are concerned about some money, then it's not cheaper to keep her or anybody, right? It's not cheaper to keep anybody, because what you would be more focused on is making sure that you have what I consider is long-lasting happiness, which is joy, than to have someone in your life who makes you absolutely miserable simply because you want to have some money. So I completely disagree with that statement that it's cheaper to keep anyone. I completely disagree with that statement. It's not cheaper to keep her. It's more expensive. It is more expensive to be, listen to me, it's more expensive to keep someone, because what happens is you might have more cash on hand, right? But you have less happiness on hand, less joy on hand. And if you realize, there are a lot of times there are people who will commit suicide. There are people who just utterly miserable, experiencing depression and all sorts of stuff, right? Like, why would you want to put yourself in a situation of constant unhappiness because you want to have a little bit more cash in your hand, right? And why would you want to risk your mental health? Why don't give yourself an opportunity to find happiness again, or to find joy again? And, you know, going back to the point that I raised, where some people would say, well, you know, at my age or whatever. Well, if you're at a certain age, you should be even more concerned, right? Let's say you're 65 or you're 60 or whatever the case is, and you should be even more, because the truth is, every day that we're alive, we're a day closer. I hate to say that, but every day that someone is alive, we're also a day closer to when we're no longer on earth. So how many years are you of potential joy are you willing to sacrifice with someone who makes you absolutely miserable? So when someone says, well, you know, at my age, starting over, you should be even more concerned about starting over. You should be even more willing. And yes, I'm saying any age, but the truth is, who knows when that final day is going to come, right? So whether you're 20 something or 30 something or 40 something or 50 something or 60 something, you should be ready to let that person go their way, so that you could give yourself as much time as possible, because it's limited, as much time as possible to find the person, the circumstance, the situation that will bring you a kind of joy that you want to have for a long period of time in your life. So it should never be about, well, at my age. And for as a matter of fact, for folks who might be in their teens or their 20s or their 30s, this applies to you just as much as it applies to somebody who might be in their 40s or 50s or 60s or their 70s. It applies to you just as much, because perhaps, right, maybe there are no guarantees, but maybe you probably have a longer period of time to live your life. But don't you want to live that life in a state of happiness? Don't you want to live that life actually experiencing continuous joy with someone who makes you happy? So it's never cheaper. It's never cheaper, right? It's never cheaper. And this also applies to people with kids also. I see what you're saying, but it's never cheaper to keep anybody. Because the last thing you want is someone robbing your soul. The last thing you want is someone getting so into you, into your skin, into your psyche, that they disturb your mental health, and you cannot find your peace of mind. There is nothing more precious, more glorious, more savoring, more long-lasting than having a peace of mind, which leads you not to happiness, because happiness could be temporary, but which leads you to experiencing joy, true joy. And so with that, it's never cheaper to keep her or to keep him or to keep whoever it is that you're with. It's never cheaper to keep them. It's actually more expensive to keep someone in your space that makes you unhappy. A little bit of money is never going to be worth your peace of mind. It's never going to be worth your joy. And it's certainly it's never going to be worth your mental health. So let me know what you think about this video. Let me know your thoughts on this whole idea of it's cheaper to keep her or anybody, whoever it is that you're with and you're married to. Let me know your thoughts on that and how you feel about that situation. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to share. Until next time, be good. Peace.